still in line with this, but on Monday, si Senator Manny Pacquiao said that he is not satisfied with President Duterte's stand on the West Philippine Sea issue. He also cited yung popular nga po na jet ski statement noong 2016.
Now I'm gonna look for him in a jet ski and a flag, just as he promised. Ooh, I'm gonna be one of the stupids that will do just that as an argument. Part 2. Now I'm gonna look for him in a jet ski and a flag, just as he promised. Ooh, I'm gonna be one of the stupids that will do just that as an argument. But did you know that President Duterte did not just acquire jet skis and a flag? He did the Philippines better by acquiring new ships for the Philippine Navy. And now, for the first time in history, we have ships of the Philippine Navy waving its flag in the West Philippine Sea to protect what is ours, even if we are outnumbered, but at least we are there. On top of that, we also modernized our military. Example, the Philippine Army and the Philippine Air Force. And we sent our men and women in uniform, bearers of our flag and our sovereignty and freedom, to the West Philippine Sea to protect also what is ours. Aren't they better examples of a flag? They have 2 feet, hands, and a heartbeat.
Okay, pero magzo-zoom ata, Trisha Tirada,
Okay,
CNN
thank you,
Philippines.
Secretary Trisha Tirada.
Hi, good afternoon, folks, Harry, and to our guests. So just a first question on the President's statement last night dun sa West Philippine Sea that he never made a promise to retake the West Philippine Sea from China, but there are at least 3 occasions where he did state specific actions should China insist on staying in our territory. What do we make of these statements now, sir?
Hindi ko po masyado naintindihan yung tanong, no? Putol-putol po yung dating ng tanong. Pakiulit lang po.
Pero ulitin ko po. Sir, yung sa statement ng po ni Pangulo last night that he said he never made a promise to retake the West Philippine Sea from China. But there are at least 3 occasions when we review the transcripts, the statements of President, where he did state specific actions should China insist on staying in our territory. What do we make of these statements now, sir?
I think the President should be construed literally. Hindi niya pinangako na maibabalik niya yung mga teritoryong nawala sa atin dahil sa kagagawan ng ibang tao at ibang administrasyon. No? Pero mga sinasabi niya, he will ask China to honor sovereignty and our sovereign rights na ginagawa naman po niya. Pero I think the President was clear, hindi niya ipinangako na mababawi yung mga teritoryo na nawala na sa atin. No? Even the jet ski, ang sabi lang naman niya, sasabihan niya ang China na umalis. No? Pero hindi niya ipinangako na yung nawalang Scarborough Shoal, mapapaalis niya ang mga Chino roon.
Sir, but sometime in 2016, February 21 to be exact, the President said he will tell China to stop its expansions in the Philippine territory if nothing happens in his 2nd year of presidency. What happened to this, sir? Is the President sort of taking a softer stance compared to yung medyo hardline stance ni sir nung kampanya?
On the contrary, Trish, nagtagumpay po ang Presidente kasi sa kanyang administrasyon, wala pong bagong reclamation ginawa ang China, wala pong bagong mga refurbishment na ginawa sa mga artificial islands ang China. Ito po yung isa sa mga major na kasunduan na nakamit ng Presidente at hindi po yan mabubura ng ating mga kritiko.
Sir, still in line with this, but on Monday, si Senator Manny Pacquiao said that he is not satisfied with President Duterte's stand on the West Philippine Sea issue. He also cited yung popular nga po na jet ski statement noong 2016, which he said gave encouragement to Filipinos that time. Pero just last week daw po, si Pangulo sinabi that the Philippines is citing as utang na loob with China because of the COVID-19 vaccines that we procured. And we all know that si Senator Pacquiao and si President Duterte belong to PDP laban. What does Malacanang think of this? Some are actually wondering if this could be a sign of falling out habang papalapit na po yung elections, considering that they belong to the same political party.
I don't think there is a falling out. Hanggang ngayon po, nananatiling napakalaking fan ni Senator Pacquiao ang ating presidente sa larangan ng palakasan, lalo na sa larangan ng boxing. Hanggang doon na lang po tayo.
Yes, thank you, Secretary. Secretary, unahin ko na po yung tanong naman ni Heidi Sampang ng DZAS. Ano daw po ang reaksyon ng palasyo na kinansela na ni Carrie Lam ng ang no vaccine, no visa policy for OFW pero swab test is mandatory. Karilam has asked Labor Secretary to review scheme and hold discussion with consulates from countries that provide most domestic workers.
Well, we appreciate po the gesture of Madam Lam. And of course, we welcome also the mandatory testing. No? In fact, we are also ramping up our own testing here in the Philippines because talaga naman pong pag hindi mo tinest, hindi mo alam kung nasaan ang ating kalaban.
Opo. Question from Laila Salaveria. The President disowned the tweets of the DFA Secretary. What effect, if any, will this have on the DFA's diplomatic protest versus China's incursions in the West Philippine Sea? Won't this weaken our diplomatic protest?
Wala pong epekto yan dahil ito naman pong mensahe ng ating Presidente, wala pong lugar ang pagmumura pagdating po lalong-lalo na sa sensitibong larangan ng diplomasya.
Second question po niya, why did the President say he never promised to retake the West Philippine Sea or pressure China when he claimed during the campaign that he would ride a jet ski to the West Philippine Sea and plant the Philippine flag? What are Filipinos supposed to make of this seeming turnaround from the President? Same question with John Pusalan of ABS-CBN Online.
Wala pong turnaround yan kasi ang sabi ni Presidente, hindi niya pinangako na mababawi niya yung mga nawalang teritorya.
And then, ang tanong naman po ni Vance Fernandez, yung una at ikalawa niyang tanong ay nasagot niyo na. Pero yung follow-up niya, would that mean about China, wouldn't that mean China taking even more advantage of the Philippines' attempt of being friendly with China, and China in turn using that friendship as a leverage to force our silence on the West Philippine Sea dispute?
Alam mo, lilinawin ko po, no? Kung gugustuhin ng China, wala pong makakapigil sa kanya kung talagang gagawin niya muli yung ginawa niya sa panahon ng nakalipas na administrasyon. Pero sa ngayon po, nagkaroon ng kasunduan ng si Presidente at si President Xi na wala pong bagong mga reclamation na gagawin, wala pong bagong isla na tatanggalin sa ating posisyon, status quo baga at tumutupad naman po sa usapan ng China. So hindi ko po maintindihan kung ano yung premise ng tanong na mayroong pagsasamantala na pwedeng gawin ng China. Hindi po. Tumutupad naman po sa ngayon sa kasunduan na status quo muna.
From Teleradyo News Desk, reaction lang po sa sinabi ni Professor Clarita Carlos sa interview sa Teleradyo na kaya napakabait ng pagtrato ni Pangulong Duterte sa China ay dahil nagpapagamot di umano siya roon at yung isang college daw po doon ay ipinangalan sa kanyang ina.
Walang alam ko lang po may isang college na pinangalan sa kanyang ina, pero malinaw po yung pulisiya natin, no? Hindi tayo mabait. Ang ginagawa lang po natin, practical. Inisasantabi natin ang hindi mapagkasunduan at sinusurong yung mga bagay-bagay na po pwede nating isulong gaya ng kalakalan at ng mga pamumuhunan.
Tanong naman po ni Celerina Monte ng Manila Shimbun, follow up po sa opening daw statement ni Secretary Roque, why is there a need to tell China's assistance amid our territorial dispute with Beijing? Just to compare China's assistance with other countries, this is based on the latest 2019 Official Development Assistance Portfolio Review by NEDA. Japan's total ODA, both grant and loans, is $8.5 billion. Korea, $633 million. China, $590 million. When it comes to grant alone, US, $577 million. Compared with China's $97 million.
Wala po tayong kinukumpira. Ang binasa ko lang po is a statement of fact. Ito po mga proyekto na napondohan na ng mga China at yung mga halagang natanggap na natin sa China. Statement of fact lang po yon. Isa po sa kanyang binanggit ang issue tungkol sa West Philippine Sea. Kaugnay po nito, kahapon po, sinabi ko na ang binitawang maanghang na salita ni Secretary karapatan ng malayang pananalita. Well, tama po yun kasi ang sinabi po ni Secretary Locsin ay kanyang personal na pananaw. Linilinaw ko po, upon express orders of the President, hindi po ito ang pulisiya ng Pilipinas. Kinilaro po ito mismo ng ating Presidente. Anumang pagkakaiba natin po sa bansang China sa usapin ng West Philippine Sea, hindi ito magde-define ng ating bilateral relations at hindi rin ito magiging hadlang sa ating pakikipagkaibigan sa China at malalim na kooperasyon sa pandemic response, vaccine cooperation at post-pandemic. Ang ating kooperasyon sa pandemic response na makaapekto sa ating resolve na ipagtanggol ang ating principled position. Patuloy na ina-assert ng Administrasyong Duterte ang sovereignty at sovereign rights ng Pilipinas sa West Philippine Sea sa pamamagitan ng bilateral diplomacy sa bansang China at multilateral engagement sa ASEAN, strategic partners, UN at international community. Kasabay nito ang tuloy-tuloy na modernisasyon ng ating defense program at enhancement ng ating mga maritime assets. Para isipin na ang paggamit ng mapayapa at diplomatikong pamamaraan para i-assert ang ating mga karapatan at ma-resolve ang mga hindi pagkakaunawaan o disputes bilang appeasement ay isang kabiguan na maintindihan ang basic thrust ng ating independenteng pulisiyang panlabas na naaayon sa ating saligang batas. Masasabi rin ito ay profound distortion of the historical lessons mula sa Second World War at iba pang conflicts. Ang diplomasya ay hindi appeasement. In a sense, ang diplomasya ay isang form ng warfare na walang dugong dumadanak. Hindi rin maituturing na isang form of subjugation ang mapayapang paraan para maresolba ang mga hindi pagkakaunawaan. Ito ay dignified approach para ipagtanggol ang ating pambansang interes at i-uphold ang international law. Habang ginagamit natin ang productive diplomacy at effective deterrence sa pagtanggol ng ating sovereignty at sovereign rights at i-secure ang ating maritime security, hindi natin papayagan ang ating territorial at maritime disputes sa China na maging sagabal sa ating bilateral cooperation sa urgent issue sa laban natin sa COVID-19, partikular ang pangangailangan natin sa bakuna. Anyway, bago po tayo mag-press briefing, kami po ay nagkausap ni Secretary Locsin at pinaalam po niya sa akin na personal siyang nag-apologize po sa Chinese ambassador at ang mga nabanggit naman po niyang salita ay dahil lang sa mga bagay-bagay na naging dahilan para uminit ang kanyang ulo. So ulit po natin ang mensahe ng Presidente, sa larangan ng diplomasya, wala pong lugar ang pagmumura. At ang sabi po ng mensahe ng Presidente sa lahat ng miyembro ng kanyang gabinete, ang Presidente lang ang po pwedeng magmura, wala pong po pwedeng gumaya sa kanya.